All right. So I'm back already. It is Wednesday, hump day. Hump day, and I'm back already. I couldn't even go 4 days without the urge to talk about this lunacy. I can only take so much. I can only take so much. Right? Big shout out to everybody who had the time to join me in this stream. I'm going to keep it short, not going to be too long, but I got to deal with this case. People who keep up with the news probably are aware a lot of articles surfaced today, yesterday, say within the past 2-3 days. A lot of articles surfaced. Y'all might remember I covered this on a live stream. I just, briefly talked about what happened. He got off of a bus and he was attacked by a dog just after getting off of a bus. Right? Thank you. 8,000. Am I at 8,000 already? I haven't even checked it. Yeah, people are waking up. Welcome to the new subscribers who are new to this information. Who we have? We Hate Dogs. I'm going to give somebody a wrench. Go with Bashar. Big shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get into this crazy, unfortunate, satanic story. People, these stories are emotionally and mentally exhausting. And they're so bad that I have to disconnect from them because it's just so crazy. To be honest with you, I compare this dog nutter culture to the worst events in human history, whether it be slavery here in the United States and all across the world, whether it be the Holocaust, whether it be 9/11, and all other massive tragic incidents. But this one is ongoing. It doesn't stop, and it's not acknowledged as an epidemic. It's not looked at as something that needs to be stopped. And that's the biggest problem. That is what makes it so crazy. People really look the other way and lie to themselves. So this boy, Connor Landers, a bunch of articles surfaced recently talking about how he's recovering. He's making a recovery. Texas boy survives vicious dog mauling after neighbor chases dog down the street. See how he put the word animal there? This is their attempt to categorize dogs as being no different from any of the other animals. It's a way to project into our mind that other animals could have attacked them as well. It just happened to be a dog this time. All animals attack. Very deceptive how they use the word pets and animals instead of dogs. A neighbor witnessed the attack. She tried to stop it, but the dogs chased her off. And some neighbor helped to free the boy by hitting the mutt with a stick. Now, what upsets me about this case is the articles. It was the accumulation of these disgusting articles where, as always, they don't have the proper discussions. They just end. See, this one ended like this. Emergency personnel transported the boy to a hospital in Fort Worth, where he was treated for his injuries. The end. As much as I look forward to a discussion about dogs, questioning their presence in our communities, they always fall short. And for every single article to be this way, you know that it's by design. If this were a bunch of free-thinking people, you'd have multiple media outlets who entertain the discussion. Are dogs really necessary? Should we consider banning dogs, banning certain breeds? They don't even get into the discussion of banning or reapplying pit bull bans. There's just no discussion. One media outlet, this is the entire article right here. This is the beginning and end of the article. It looked like just a title and a subtitle. 7-year-old boy is recovering after a neighbor's dog attacked him when he got off the school bus, dragging the child down the street while biting his face, head, and arms. The end. It's pretty crazy. You know, if these were brutal stories about a man beating a dog, these articles would be quite lengthy. And as always, there's no punishment for the owners of these mutts. This article ended like this. We commend Connor's neighbor for her bravery. Here we go. It's a hero story. It's a story about a hero. These people, look at this. We commend Connor's neighbor for her bravery and quick actions in saving him. We are praying for Connor to make a full recovery. Oh, our heart goes out to Connor. We hope he recovers soon. Over and over, every single attack follows this same pattern. Wasn't the dog's fault. We hope you recover. Our hearts go out to you. No, we're not going to have a discussion about whether or not dogs are appropriate to be in our communities. And what blows my mind about their failure to have this discussion is how quickly they ban dangerous toys. They don't even have a discussion about it. Well, those are banned. Time to get rid of those. Here's another one. And they said the exact same thing that the other media outlet said. Several of them. If you Google Connor Landers, you'll find 5 to, I would say, 8 articles. And many of them simply copy and paste this quote right here. We are praying for Connor to make a full recovery. We will not, we dare not entertain a discussion about whether or not dogs should be legal. As a matter of fact, we're not going to say anything negative about dogs at all. The media makes a point to do this. Here you go. Another media outlet, this surfaced today, framed it as a story about a hero. Yeah, so sad for the child. Our hearts go out to the child. You're such a hero. Now, on to the next story. Again, we're dealing with people with an incredibly low value for human life. It reminds me very much of two things. Most of all, slavery in America. Second of all, the Holocaust, where it was more so with American slavery. Because slavery, like this dog attack culture, goes on day after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And it seems like the value for human life never increases in the mind of the people who control the society. As if black people were permanent, and in fact, they made laws that blacks were 3/4 of a human. This dog nut culture is scarily similar, in my opinion, where no matter how many kids are attacked, there are certain rules you have to abide by. Rules like never question the dog's presence, never question how much of a danger they are to children. No matter how many attacks, they belong inside of the home. They belong inside of the society. The value for these people's own children never increases. It's as if they have deemed children 3/4 of a human being. That is very, very creepy, very evil. Doesn't it seem that way? As if these people had deemed children 3/4 of a human being. And I say that because dogs will most likely attack children. And if they do, children are the least likely to fight the dog off. And they're far more likely to sustain severe injuries. They sustain the very worst injuries. So they're more likely to be attacked, and they're more likely to sustain severe injuries. And there are a million triggers. And still, you do not dare talk about a dog as if it doesn't belong in society. These dog nuts view that type of discussion as sacrilegious, as evil, as a crime, and they dare not do it. They are dead set against discussions like this, and they feel more passionately about it than they feel about Jesus, God, or whoever the figurehead of their religion is. Now let's look at a few news coverages of this case. Pretty crazy case right here.
What started as a little boy walking home from school ended in a mauling. And Izzy, a 7-year-old in Parker County, is now beginning a long, difficult road to recovery.
He is, Chris. The sheriff's department says a dog got out of its fenced yard and attacked the little boy as he was getting off of his school bus. It happened in Reno, about 20 miles outside of Fort Worth. Ariel Placencia spoke with the little boy's mother, who says a quick-thinking neighbor saved her son's life.
Every school day around 4 p.m., 7-year-old Connor Landers gets off the bus.
I play on the bus and stuff.
But Tuesday's drop-off was extra special.
I learned about money and counting.
It was his first full day of school since the attack. A few weeks ago, after getting off the bus, Connor was attacked by his neighbor's dog.
Tore up his jacket and his backpack. He was wearing a white t-shirt that was completely drenched in blood.
It happened in front of his next door neighbor's house.
I seen the dog standing over someone just shaking him.
Lorena Parker grabbed a stick and ran to help.
Right about in here is where I caught him and started beating on the dog, and then he drug him all the way this way.
Lorena fought off the dog and managed to pull Connor to safety. We want to warn you, pictures of the little boy's injuries are difficult to look at.
He just kept saying the dog used me as a chew toy, Mommy.
The woman who owned the dog, Patty Jean Bell Neveling, lives across the street and was arrested Monday. She's facing a third-degree felony charge.
Knowing that the dogs get out and you make no efforts to fix your fence kind of rises to the level of negligence.
Meanwhile, the community rallied around Connor, coming together to build a fence around his backyard.
It's a regular fence.
It's a regular.
It's brown.
Is it big?
Yes, very, very big.
A big fence that makes this little boy feel safe.
They volunteered their time, their Saturday, to come and build a fence for this little boy.
In Azle, I'm Ariel Placencia.
Now, you notice how they keep showing the boy, how they keep putting the camera on the boy, how they get these edited clips of the boy seeming playful and very loving. They do that as if they really care about this boy, when the truth is they don't. They don't care about the boy enough to get rid of dogs. We feel sorry for you, Connor, but we don't feel sorry enough to even have the discussion about banning dogs. Oh, I don't think so. You're not that special, Connor. You or any other child in the neighborhood, you're not that special. The mere thought of dogs not being in our communities is ridiculous, even to people whose children have been attacked, even with people who themselves have been attacked.
Run away.
A little 7-year-old on the road to recovery tonight after he was attacked by a dog on his way home from school. Good evening, I'm Doug Dunbar. Tonight, you're going to hear from that brave little 7-year-old and his mother. The boy was attacked near his home in Parker County. Doctors say a neighbor, honestly, is probably the person who saved that boy's life. We do want to warn you, some of the images we use as part of the story are graphic to look at, but it tells the story and the severity. Our Alexis Wainwright tonight from Hidden Circle in Azle to show you exactly how he's doing.
Connor is in high spirits and happy to be home.
Yes, I do feel better.
This one is extremely protective. 7-year-old Connor Landers has grown up being around dogs.
Y'all see that, right? The mother of this boy still insists on her son accepting the presence of dogs, large dogs at that. Large dogs at that. This is so disgusting. What a piece of trash. She's saying to that boy, if you get attacked again, oh well. Yeah, you got attacked. It was bad. You have multiple scars. And the injuries on this boy is ridiculous, people. They're talking about he needs surgery to, he had all kinds of nerve damage in his face, in his arms. He needs physical therapy to learn how to eat again, how to chew, even his tear duct, all kinds of crazy injuries this boy sustained. And what does his mother say to him? It's not that bad. we're still going to put you at risk. You could get attacked again, but we're going to take that chance again. How about that? This boy seems thoroughly brainwashed. Thoroughly brainwashed to be a dog nut. Sadly, I think it's too late for the boy. He's destined to be a dog nut himself.
Yes, I do feel better.
This one is extremely protective. 7-year-old Connor Landers has grown up being...
Yeah. Notice how they put the camera on the dog. Take the boy out of the picture. In a story about a boy recovering from being mutilated, they want to make a dog the center of attention. Think about that. Everybody was on board for this. And I think it was spearheaded by the disgusting mother. What would make them want to make a dog the center of attention during the reporting of a story like this? Do you know how sick of an individual you would have to be? This is the type of sickness you saw when people would lynch black people and cut their penises off, cut their fingers off, and keep them. Keep different body parts, where they would engage in behavior that forced you to conclude that these people were demonic. This is sick, evil, demonic, soulless behavior, where these people have no value whatsoever for human life. It does not even matter if it's the life of their baby, child, or themselves.
I do feel better.
This one is extremely protective. 7-year-old Connor Landers has grown up being around dogs and loves playing with any four-legged friend, but
I was shaking a lot.
after being attacked,
He said he shakes a lot around dogs. Once again, they put the camera on the dog. They want to send the message out. Not all dogs are bad. Let's not get rid of dogs. Here, look at this dog. Not all dogs are bad. Oh, it was just that one dog. Something was wrong with it. Man.
he's only comfortable with the dogs he knows. On January 21st, a neighbor's dog...
They up here robbing a dog. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
After being attacked, he's only comfortable with the dogs he knows. On January 21st, a neighbor's dog ran over and attacked him while walking home.
These people act like dogs are so valuable that even after they nearly kill your child, you owe it to dogs to be loyal to them, continue feeding, sheltering them, continue rubbing them, continue treating them like angels. Brooklyn Curry, she knew that full well, that she would have been ostracized. She would have lost a huge chunk of her following had she spoken out against dogs. Just like a religion, people, they do not tolerate you, as a dog lover, saying anything against dogs whatsoever.
From the bus stop.
I just yelled at the dog to go away and just went away, came back in 1 second, ran after me.
Another neighbor saw Connor being dragged and jumped in. She hit the dog with a stick to stop it.
It was terrifying.
The attack left Connor with several lacerations to the face and arms, puncture wounds to his scalp, and bruises on his chest and legs.
Do y'all understand that they have made this boy believe that it was something that he did? This is what the society has done. This boy now truly believes in his heart that it was something that he did. Not only that, he believes that dogs belong in human territory. This boy still believes that. This dog propaganda is so powerful. Once you get sucked into it, it's hard to come out.
The scar right here, actually, it ripped open his cheek.
Monday, the Parker County Sheriff's Office identified the dog owner as 49-year-old Patty G. Bell.
Man, these people, look at how nonchalantly they talk about the injuries. It's because these people get off on it. These people are not truly affected. They're not truly disturbed by stuff like this. That's exactly what this is. Rather than be disturbed, they're excited. Just like they were excited when they saw a black person being lynched, being whipped. Like I said, that same sickness that permeated through the population then exists today in the form of dog nuttery. They can't convince me. There's no way. If you were truly disturbed by this, your child being mutilated like this, you would tell your child, I'm going to get rid of the dog, whether you like it or not. And I'm sure the boy would have understood had you explained to him, we got rid of the dog, our other dog or other dogs. Okay, Connor, we got rid of them because I know you like those dogs, but those dogs can turn and attack you as well. As a matter of fact, Connor, dogs are dangerous. Dogs are dangerous. And we never should have exposed you to dogs. Those are the type of discussions that people need to have. People with good sense. People who are sane individuals. They have discussions like that. So we're not dealing with the same group of individuals.
Dog resulting in injury warrant.
At least I know with her in there.
Once again, they're making sure that people, this news report is all about the dog. It's all about the dog. You cannot get any more subhuman than this. This is proof that these people are possessed and that they are not fully developed humans. This demonic spirit that possesses these people, it regresses them. It causes them to become more primitive. And they start to behave like a wild flipping animal by living with them, exchanging bodily fluids, so on and so forth.
It's not going to be any new dogs.
It's a long road to recovery. Connor will have to have another surgery and also physical therapy. The sheriff's office...
They talk about these injuries like it's cool. Wow, isn't that awesome? Whoa, we got a juicy story. A boy got his lip ripped off and oh my, had lacerations. They talk about it like they're actually excited, like they really get off on it. Their behavior screams that they find pleasure in seeing kids and babies attacked, hearing about kids and babies being attacked. Again, if they were truly disturbed, people, you would have at least one group, a massive group, a well-known group of former dog lovers who made it clear we used to be dog lovers. Now we are against dogs and they should be banned. This group that we belong to right now should have come out a long time ago. And currently, it should be larger than what it is. If these were normal human beings, several of them would have broke away from this lifestyle and made it a point to be dead set against it, to eradicate dogs from society if they were truly disturbed by these attacks. Such a group has not emerged because they are not disturbed. This is very sick stuff we're dealing with here. I know, we sort of joke around every now and then. That's just to keep our sanity. But this is the behavior of a bunch of primitive, subhuman, evil, demonically possessed, subhuman individuals. And it would be nice if you all would snap out of it. Quite stressful sharing society with such lunatics.
Hazel boy returned to school this week after being mauled by a neighbor's dog. Good evening, I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Connor Landers suffered dozens of scratches to his face, his body, his head. Doctors say he will need several more surgeries and physical therapy to regain.
Did he say the boy sustained several scratches? People, this boy had over 24 bites that needed to be stitched closed. Over 24. These were open gashes. And this man just sat up here and called them scratches. Can't make this up.
Gain the use of his arm. The owner of the dog is now in jail. And doctors say he will need several more surgeries and physical therapy to regain the use of his arm. The owner of the dog is now in jail, charged with a third-degree felony for not having her dog properly secured. Fox 4's Lori.
Oh boy. Doesn't this look like that neighbor? Come on over. Invite you inside their home. Oh, don't mind the dog. He's friendly. Huh? Does this look like a woman who raises dogs by abusing them, being violent? Man, oh man. Crazy.
Brown is in now with more on the story. Lori?
Steve, the dog's owner could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted in the dog attack for not having a properly secured fence. Neighbors tell us that they've had problems with her dogs getting loose in the past.
Everything they say confirms my narrative. You see how they talk about the problem as if the problem is the fact that the dog got loose, which is their way of admitting that the first thing dogs do when they get loose is find somebody to attack. If dogs were so loving, if they loved humans so much, if they knew humans so much, they evolved next to humans over thousands of years. They know us so well. Then why is it the first thing they do when they break free is look for somebody to attack? And they don't attack anybody that is staring at them. They don't go and attack people who take their food. They don't attack people for any of the reasons that they give to us. They simply see a victim and attack them. And they prefer to attack children. There's no discussion to be had about whether or not dogs belong in society. There is none.
He was dragging him. He was just shaking him.
Lorena Parker was in her home when she heard her small dogs making a commotion. When she looked outside, she saw her neighbor's child, 7-year-old Connor Landers, being attacked by another dog.
As I rounded the house, I could see a child on the ground, and a dog just had a hold of his backpack and his jacket and was just shaking him like he would a chew toy. Called 911. He had Connor. He was taking him through the ditch and into his yard.
Wow. That worthless mutt was mauling this boy and dragging him at the same time, trying to drag him to some, location where he can kill him. And this is the best friend of children. Oh, all dogs deserve a home. More than anything else, society projects the idea that these things belong in everybody's home, especially if you have kids. No, we're going to expose this satanic energy that is still in this country. No, we're going to get rid of this sickness right now. How soulless could you possibly be?
She hung up with 911 so she could get the dog off Connor, grabbing a stick to help fend it off.
Every time I'd get the dog off of him, Connor would try to get up and the dog would turn and go right back to Connor. Because he's crying, he's making noise, and it was horrible.
Okay. In other words, every time the dog let go, the boy showed that he was not a threat. It's not like the boy attacked the dog after the dog let go. Boy was screaming in pain, crying, trying to get away. And the dog continued to attack in classic pit bull style. And there's a massive group of lunatics, these pit bull nutters, who go harder for pit bulls than dog nuts go for dogs. Dogs that are not pit bulls. These people deserve to be dealt with. Let me just put it like that. They deserve to be dealt with. Anybody who exercises this level of subhumanity, of primitive behavior, hazardous and satanic, you deserve to be dealt with by the greater. That is what this culture is lacking. Group morality, where people get on the same page, take a stand and say that is wrong. We need to make sure that that never happens again. Where are these people at?
The dog eventually retreated to its yard. When Connor's mom, Cassandra Ware, heard the screams, she came out to find Parker comforting her son.
He kept asking if I was there, and I answered him. He said, "Mommy, the dog used me as a chew toy." And then he just kept saying, "It hurts, it hurts."
It took plastic surgeons at Cook's Children's Medical Center more than 3 hours to perform reconstructive surgery.
The dog gripped open his mouth to where my son had to have stitches inside of his mouth and out the side of his mouth.
Ware believes Parker is the reason her son is alive.
I believe I gave her my life. She saved my son because the surgeon said if she was 1 minute later, my son would have died.
How scary was that the other day?
How scary.
And lady, and you still own dogs. You're not that distraught if you're still willing to take the chance of another dog attacking your son. You don't care that much. I don't care what these people say out of their mouth. You show someone that you love them. You don't tell them. I'd rather have someone treat me like they love me than treat me like this and constantly tell me that they love me. You love me, but you're going to continue to endanger me, force me to live with dogs. Like I said, these people, it's all a front. They truly don't love themselves, and they don't love their children.
Died.
How scary was that the other day?
How scary was the other day? Can I rate it?
Yes, you can rate it.
1,000.
1,000.
Now Connor is back to being a typical 7-year-old boy.
Oh, like it's all over now. It's in the past. It's something that you can emerge from unscathed. Look, he's happy now. It's as if it never happened. That's how they think. Oh, he's back to being a normal little boy now. So don't worry about preventing dog attacks against children. Don't worry about the future. If something does happen, they'll get over it. They'll recover. Don't get rid of your pit bull. Oh, don't ever do that. Man, this is the height of evil, man. These people, it's almost as if they have no grasp on evil. So it's hard to appreciate anything good that they say or do. They have no grasp on what is and what is not evil. They're just impulsive, just like dogs. They're sick. They have a sick spirit. All they know is they get off on seeing their babies and kids in danger, and they get off when kids and babies are attacked. Like I said, if they were truly disturbed, at the very least, now you may disagree with that, but at the very least, something you cannot disagree with is that they don't think it's a big deal. They're not disturbed at all by it. Because if they were disturbed, there would be a significant number of them who turned against dogs, who preach against the presence of dogs in our society, like what we do here and other anti-dog platforms. And I don't really consider a platform anti-dog. You're not truly anti-dog unless you are against the presence of dogs in society. I don't want to hear no mantra about, oh, there needs to be bigger fines. Oh, you just need higher insurance premium. That's justice. No, we're not going to deal with that stupidity. That's that modern stupidity. No, we're going to keep it old-fashioned.
Legos and watch on my mom's phone.
Sheriff's investigators say the dog escaped from its owner's yard. The owner, 49-year-old Patty Jean Bell Neveling, is charged with a third-degree felony, attack by dog, resulting in serious bodily injury. Her dog.
Oh, man. These poor kids. They are never lectured to. They are never talked to. They are never taught by their parents or anybody in society about how special life is and how we should appreciate life. We're only here for a very short period of time. And like all other living things, we need to protect our life with everything in our might. That does not involve inviting mutated predators into your homes. Now, with that in mind, with this lunacy in mind, check this out.
New toys are always amazing. Marketers always come up with some different ideas that completely blow us away. Sometimes they do it without any proper inspection. Some of these dangerous toys have been relegated to history. Some of them achieved fad status, and some of them have been redesigned or banned, and still others are available on the shelves today. Fisher-Price Power Wheels. Hoverboards aren't the only explosive toy in history. This popular Fisher-Price battery-powered ride-on was also branded a fire hazard in the late 1990s when 9 children were burned. The company had to recall a whopping 10 million kiddie cars and trucks after 150 reports of fires and hundreds more of smoking or melting parts.
Slow down. Only 9 children were burned. 150 fires, and they recalled 10 million of these things? Right? Just reflect on dog attack statistics and compare the two. 9. Wow. And that toy was out of here.
Some of the toys caught fire even when they were sitting unused in garages and playrooms. Easy Bake Oven. The oven comes with packets of cake mix and small round pans, non-perishable, and therefore do not have an expiration date. This iconic Hasbro toy is still on the market, but about 1 million were recalled in 2007 after just 250 reports of kids getting their fingers or hands stuck inside, with dozens of the incidents resulting in burns, including one.
250 injuries. This is a joke. There are more kids injured in a single day by dogs. I mean, how can you take these people serious? They come across as if they're so concerned about child safety. Look at how high our morals are. We recalled these toys because they hurt a few kids. But dogs, they hurt, injure, and kill 100 times more than any of these toys. And you better not dare talk about, you better not even talk about removing dogs from the shelf.
One that required a partial finger amputation. The Easy Bake Oven, now on the shelves, has been redesigned significantly. Indeed, dangerous toys for the Austin Magic Pistol. In the 1950s, when BB pistols weren't considered particularly dangerous, it took something special for a pistol to stand out. The Austin Magic Pistol managed to do that with its gas-powered combustion. The pistol used what the manufacturer called magic crystals made from chemical material. When mixed with water, the crystals would explode and fire a plastic ball 70 feet or more. There is still a store which keeps the dangerous toy in the past, but today's standards, this toy is classified as a firearm in many states. Magnetics. Magnetics building sets featured plastic pieces that would break open, spilling small, powerful magnets that were easily swallowed by curious toddlers. Unlike most small objects swallowed in this manner, the magnets don't pass through the digestive system. Instead, they connect with each other through tissue walls, sometimes forming large masses that twist intestines and cut off blood supply to vital organs. The result can be a painful end within hours. In 2005, when 22-month-old Kenny Swede died after 9 tiny magnets reattached inside his throat, magnetics manufacturer Mega Bloks released a statement saying it had no record of knowledge of a similar occurrence involving this toy.
Keep in mind, people, all of these toys have been banned. Unless they indicate that they're still on the market, they are still banned. This is ridiculous. I mean, what a joke.
Clackers. You may find it in Reddit Stories' top 5 list. Clackers, popular in the late 1960s and early 70s, were a simple toy. 2 heavy balls, typically made of hard acrylic, suspended from a string. Kids swung and clacked the balls together to make noise, sometimes with surprising style, but the clacker balls could become a projectile and the plastic could shatter and send jagged bits flying. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, charged with regulating toys at the time, stepped in 1971 to require strict safety standards for subsequent versions of clackers. Slap bracelets. Any child of the late 80s or early 90s remembers the slap bracelet fad and the bans enforced by schools after the sharp metal inside the bracelets started cutting kids' tender skin. But slap bracelets never quite went away and never completely cleaned up their safety act. In 2012, Toysmith recalled a large batch because the metal was wearing through the fabric cover, exposing sharp edges that cut at least 8 kids. Studio Fun recalled thousands more troll-themed slap bracelets in 2017 for the same reason.
Okay, so I guess that's not banned. Right? Y'all remember the Sky Dancers. Those are definitely still banned. This is crazy.
Sky Dancers flying dolls. It seemed like a clever idea. Mostly in the latter half of the 1990s, were hard plastic dolls with wing-covered arms that sat in a molded base. When kids pulled a cord, their dolls launched and flew. Unfortunately, the dolls often launched themselves right into the kids themselves, and toy manufacturer Galoob received reports of eye injuries, broken teeth, serious cuts, and even a broken rib and a concussion. Nearly 9 million were finally recalled in 2000.
Oh, my goodness. 9 million. 9 million. This thing goes on and on and on. You can do a simple Google search and you will find many toys that have been banned, cleared from the shelves after only a few dozen injuries. Sometimes a few hundred, if you're lucky. Very rarely, if ever, have I read about there being even 1,000. And keep in mind, every day in the United States, about 13,000, if I'm not mistaken, 13,000. And if it's not 13,000, simply divide 13,000 in half. And you'll get the number or the approximate number of kids who are attacked and injured in the United States. You know what? Let me get that statistic right now. Because I don't want to. These people, when it comes to dog attacks, especially dog attacks against kids, all of a sudden, people don't know how to research. All of a sudden, nobody is familiar with the statistics. Isn't that what it seems like? Why is it such a small sect of people who are familiar with the statistics? Now, 6,849 children in the United States attacked every day, bitten every day. Again, 6,849 approximately bitten every day. Play around with the math on that. You'll find some crazy stuff. So, you know, as much as I hope this boy, and hell, every child in the United States, as much as I hope they snap out of it by the time they're old enough to move out of their parents' home, I know that is very unlikely. I'm aware of that. But if any of them decides to snap out of it, I'll feel like my work, my efforts have not been in vain. You know, I really take a lot of joy when people tell me that they got rid of a dog after they heard one of my videos. That's what I'm here for. Right? Please go talk to your former dog-loving brethren. Right? Let's get them to snap out of it as well. So stay safe out there, people. Big shout out to everybody. Join me for this live stream. I think it was a little longer than expected. Stay safe. Stay clean as we continue with this crusade against these worthless, good for nothing, good for absolutely nothing mutants and their possessed, deranged, disturbed owners.